Hello and welcome. In today's explainer, we're going to break down business correspondence. Now, I know this is a super important topic for your exams, so we're going to tackle it in a really simple way, focusing on those key English terms you absolutely need to know. Ready? Let's get started. The pen is mightier than the sword. We've all heard this famous quote, right? But what does it have to do with the business world? Well, everything. In business, your written words are your most powerful tools. The right letter can build relationships, open up new markets, and seal huge deals. But the wrong one? It can seriously damage a company's reputation. So, how can your writing skills make or break your success? So, here's our roadmap for today. We'll start with the basics. What exactly is business correspondence? Then we'll dive into the golden rules, the 7 C's of communication. After that, we'll look at the perfect layout for a professional letter, cover some key letter types you'll encounter, and finally, we'll talk about why all of this really matters for you. All right, let's jump right into our first big question. What on earth is business correspondence? Simply put, it's all the communication a business does through writing. You could even call it the intellectual part of business activities. Every time you buy something, make a complaint, or open an account, the letters, emails, and memos that are exchanged are all part of business correspondence. It's basically how business gets done. And look at just how important this is. Good writing builds strong relationships with customers and suppliers. An order letter can act as a legal document. A well-written circular letter can introduce a product to a whole new market. It saves travel costs. And most importantly, a professional letter boosts the company's goodwill, its reputation. Okay, let's get to the heart of effective business writing. This is the 7 C's of communication. Think of these as the 7 golden rules. If you follow them, your writing will always be professional and get the job done. First up, clarity. This means the person reading your message should understand it completely on the first read. For example, instead of saying, "We must leverage our synergistic assets," just say, "We must use our resources together." It's simple. Avoid complex technical words or jargon. The goal isn't to show off your vocabulary, it's to make your point crystal clear. Next, completeness. An incomplete message is useless, right? Imagine sending a meeting notice but forgetting to mention the time or place. No one could attend. So always ask yourself these 5 questions. Who, what, where, when, and why. If your message answers all of these, you're good to go. Number 3 is conciseness. This is all about respecting the reader's time. Instead of a long phrase like "due to the fact that," just use "because." Get straight to the point and cut out unnecessary words. The aim is to say more with fewer words. Correctness is absolutely critical. Your facts, figures, grammar, and spelling must be 100% accurate. Just think about a company sending out a quotation with the wrong price. That single mistake could lead to huge financial losses and seriously damage the company's reputation. So always double-check before you send. And that brings us to our next point, concreteness. Vague statements don't build confidence. Instead of saying "sales increased a lot," be specific and say "sales increased by 15%. Using solid facts and figures makes your message much more powerful and believable. The foundation of good business relationships is courtesy. Even if you're writing a complaint letter, your tone should always be polite. Use words like "please" and "thank you." Instead of blaming someone by saying "you failed," just state the problem. A courteous message shows respect and is much more likely to get a positive response. And finally, we have consideration. This is all about the you attitude. Basically, you need to think from the reader's perspective. Instead of saying, "I am happy to report that we have shipped your order," try saying, "You will be happy to hear that your order has been shipped." Focus on the benefit to them, not on your actions. It makes them feel valued. Okay, so now we know the rules. Let's look at how a letter should actually be structured. A professional layout makes a great impression before they even read the first word. It shows you're serious. So this is the basic anatomy of a business letter. At the very top, you have the heading, followed by the date. Then comes the inside address of the person you're writing to. The greeting is the salutation, the main part of your message is the body, and you wrap it up with a complimentary close, and finally, your signature with your name and title. Remembering this structure is super important for your exams. Now let's see how we can use this structure to write different kinds of letters. While the layout stays the same, the content and the tone will change a lot depending on the letter's purpose. One of the most common pairs you'll see is the letter of inquiry and its reply, the quotation. An inquiry is for asking for information, so it's short and to the point. A quotation provides that information and tries to persuade the buyer to place an order, so its tone is more detailed and persuasive. It's a perfect example of a business conversation in writing. Besides those, you should definitely know about these other key letter types. An order letter is the official contract to buy something. A complaint letter is how you politely report a problem. An adjustment letter is the reply that solves that problem. And a circular letter is what you use to announce something, like a new branch opening, to a lot of people at once. We've covered a lot of ground, so let's bring it all together and talk about why this is so critical for you, for your exams, and for your future career. Here are your quick tips to succeed in the exam. 1. Always use the professional layout we discussed. 2. Get straight to the point in your first sentence. 3. Consciously apply those 7 C's. 4. Always be polite. And finally, the most important thing, proofread. A single typo can make an otherwise perfect letter look unprofessional. So here's the main takeaway. These rules aren't just for exams. They apply to every single professional email and message you will ever write. The next time you sit down to write, will you remember the 7 C's and the professional structure we talked about today? Because applying this knowledge is what turns it into a real skill. So will you use these rules in your next professional email?